Okay, God has prepared the way for God's people. God has already prepared the way for God's people. So for you to do God's purpose is to live out the purpose. For you to live out the way that God planned it to be. God's way. Okay, for you to live out God's purpose, because everything is already pre-arranged. For you to live out God's purpose, you have to be connected to God within you. Okay, when you're connected to God within you, then you start walking in your purpose. Then you start living out God's purpose, okay? When you start living out God's purpose, people will come in disguise. Like there will be enemies in disguise. There'll be enemies that you already know your enemies. But then there will be enemies that you don't know because they're coming in disguise. They're coming like they're for you. They're good people. But truly, within, they not. They just coming to try to have a seat at the table that God has prepared. And their hearts are deceit. They got greed in their hearts. They got control. And that's why they trying to have a seat at the table with God, with God's people. Because they trying to benefit off of what God has blessed this person with. That's walking in a purpose and living out God's purpose and that are connected to God. So that's why you gotta be very careful and very aware and using discernment when you connect to God and then you start living out God's purpose, because people coming from out of all kind of works. People you know that's your enemies, and people you don't know that's your enemies because they're in disguise, but they have a strategic plan, to live off what God is blessing you with. So you think God gonna let the enemy have a seat at the table? They be tripping when they think that. The enemy be tripping when they think that. You think you gonna have a seat at the table with God. Better think again.